Good evening, good afternoon. Well, actually, it's morning. It's still morning. God, it seemed like I didn't even know it was still morning. Well, listen to this, people of God. What I want to say right quick is faith. Oh, look at the sky. I didn't even notice that until I started the camera. You see that? It's so beautiful. It's like 11:30 in the morning. Faith, persistence, consistency, believing in God. Faith, continuing on your journey, exercising faith, and also patience. Faith and patience is what it takes for you to continue to walk on this thin, narrow path while you pray and wait for God to do what he said he was going to do in your life. Don't ever allow yourself, anytime your mind gets to racing and you become anxious, that is us stepping into the flesh, right? The Bible even tells us don't be anxious for anything. And then not only that, when we put I'm going to plant me some tomatoes, if it's not potatoes, if it's not this weekend, maybe next weekend, because I got some stuff to do Sunday. My Sunday is kind of booked, but I'm going to plant some potatoes like I was telling another sister. I'm going to share it with you guys. Don't always be anxious for something to happen overnight, instantly. You know, God has the power to change our lives overnight, instantly. He's the God who created the heavens and the earth. He's the God who has that sun sitting up behind those beautiful clouds. So don't you think he have the power to change any of our lives in a second? But there are some times where we must have certain experiences and go through certain trials and obstacles, not to break us, not to hurt us, not to really punish us, but to perfect us and to strengthen us. And it doesn't always feel good while experiencing certain hardships of life, but as you endure and overcome them, triumph over them, you can look back and say, you know what, had I not had that experience, I would have never known how to do this or how to do this. And there's some things inside of us that are uprooted while we're going through certain or having certain experiences. But like I was telling another young sister, don't always be so anxious to see something. Like we were talking about certain investments. If you invest in something today, don't be so anxious and be impatient and saying, oh, well, this ain't gonna come to pass. No, you pray. If God has put that thing in your spirit and he's confirmed it to you, you may not see it come through today, tomorrow. You may not see it come through next month. You may not even see it come through next year or the year after. But all you need to do is believe in what God has placed in your spirit. Don't doubt God. And when it gets hard sometimes and you're trying to believe, but your doubt keeps wanting to creep in, you pray, you rebuke the spirit of doubt, and you talk to your Father and tell him, Father, I'm trying to believe, but I keep getting doubtful. You know, when I put these potatoes in the ground, I don't get a harvest the next day. If I plant them this Sunday, I'm not going to go and pluck a harvest out Monday. I'm not going to pluck a harvest out in April, in the middle of April or the middle of even June. I'm not going to pluck his harvest out even in July. It takes patience. It takes believing in what you put your hands to do. Just like I said, when I put my trees in the ground, it was a miracle. The first year that I ever planted my peach trees, that same year on one of the trees I had peaches. God did that. But still yet, it didn't happen the next day. It didn't happen the next month. It didn't happen the month after that. It took time. And I believed and I was so excited, but just the fact that what I had already put in the ground, we reap what we sow. So when you believe and you walk by faith, you plant seeds, you put in the work, you toil, you keep going. Whatever comes along your path, you use your faith and the word of God to overcome that thing, but you never give up. Faith must also work with patience. And after you endure and after you continue to believe, you shall see the promises of God. Now, that's just my little 2 cents. That's what's happened in my life over and over and over again, repeatedly again in my life. You must exercise faith and be patient. Without faith, it is impossible to please God. And the scriptures tell us the just, are you just? Are you God's people? If you are, then we must live by faith, okay? Continue having a blessed day. I got a busy day today. I got